Hey, Scott here, Scotty's Animals. I'm in the middle of cleaning cages right now, but I wanted to do a quick video to explain the difference between ringworm and mange. You know, I get a lot of messages, and if you'd like to message me, you can do so on my website, Scotty's Animals. There is a contact form, a whole contact page, and that'll go right to my email. But I get a lot of messages about people saying, oh, there's something wrong with my guinea pig, they're scratching, or they've got crust, or they're losing hair in a certain area. And I just sort of mentioned some symptoms that are kind of a mixture of both ringworm and mange symptoms. So even though there are some similarities, what is the difference? Let's talk about that. So I'm Scott, I'm a volunteer at the LA Guinea Pig Rescue, and when people come in, BB, we're shooting a video, come here. He's not going to stay, but he's going to chatter right over there. When people come into the LA Guinea Pig Rescue, we offer free health checks for all guinea pigs, doesn't matter where they came from, and part of that free health check is they get a drop of ivermectin on the ear. Now, ivermectin, the kind that we drop on the ear, is actually an injectable liquid that can be used for lots of different animals, but we put a drop on the ear and it gets absorbed in those blood vessels on the ear, and it gets absorbed into the bloodstream. And that's a great way for guinea pigs to get the ivermectin. We use it as a preventative, and it can be used a couple times a year as a preventative, but we also use it as a cure for mange. So let's quickly talk about the difference between mange and ringworm. Ringworm, not just the symptoms, but what are they? Mange is a microscopic subdermal parasite. It's a parasite infection. It's basically little bugs underneath the skin. It's a subdermal mite. Now, these creatures cannot be transmitted to people, okay? They're species specific. Now, but they can be transmitted probably to other guinea pigs. But the problem is, and the reason why they will get it, is when their immune system is compromised, it takes over. And so it's really piggies with a compromised immune system that aren't feeling well in general where this can really become a problem. So now, what is ringworm? Ringworm is a fungus. It's not a worm, and it's like an airborne fungus, very similar to athlete's foot. Ringworm is contagious from people. Guinea pigs can give it to people. People may be able to give it to guinea pigs, although I would guess that with their hair and just in general on people, you'll see like a ring. It's a red ring. And with guinea pigs, it shows up more as a patch of crust, and it has a white powdery look to it. Now I'll show, this is what ringworm looks like right here. Mange is a little bit more specific as far as the symptoms. So the symptoms of mange are usually more general hair loss or hair loss on the backside. But what you'll usually notice is they will lose weight and they'll be scratching and itching frantically. Now, this is Nails. When I found Nails, he had a bad case of mange, and he was going into seizures multiple times a day. He had little scabs and crust all over him. Now, you might think that some of those scabs would be caused from the actual scratching. So he's scratching, and that's causing the some of the scabs that you see. But the main feature is he was losing hair in his backside, and his hair was thin overall, and he was going into seizures. And that's the main threat. Of course, you know, the compromised immune system and just the overall decline in health. But the main threat eventually with the mange is that they'll have a seizure, have a heart attack or a stroke, and they will just not survive. So whereas ringworm is a fungal infection, both of these are incredibly uncomfortable. But luckily, both of these are easily treatable with over-the-counter medicines. But as I said, it's incredibly uncomfortable. These are the types of treatments that you want to get going right away. It's not something that you want to delay. And luckily, it's not something that in general you would need to see a vet for. If you can't treat it at home within a few days or a week, then maybe you need to consult a vet. It's a drop of ivermectin on the ear for mange, and you would want to follow that up every couple days and do it 3 times. If you want the exact specific dosage, there's a link on my website to the different types of ivermectin that we recommend, and also a description of how you dose it right there on the illness page of my free guinea pig care guide. Okay, so now let's talk about ringworm. Ringworm, as I said, it's a fungal infection, so a typical antifungal shampoo such as Head and Shoulders will actually kill those active fungus and fungal spores, and then you want to apply an antifungal cream regularly once a day for a period of about a week or 2 until you start to see these scabs and active fungus areas to disappear. And what will happen is after the bath, it might take 1 or 2 baths, but the scabs will come off and you'll be left with raw, pink, clean, fresh skin where the baby, well, pink if their skin is that color. If they have darker skin, then you will just notice it's really fresh and really soft and maybe even shiny. It's just raw, fresh skin. But the baby hairs will start to grow back after a couple days, and it may take even 2-3 weeks or even up to a month for that hair to kind of grow back completely to where you haven't seen it, where you can't tell that there was mange. So check out my website, Scotty's Animals. There's an illness page, and not only do I have the links to the stuff and the description on how to treat either mange or ringworm, but I've got a number of videos that actually explain it in a lot more detail, and I even have the whole video documentation of Nails' progress. So you can actually see his condition when I first rescued him. We took him to the rescue, and you can see the process of him being nursed back to health. So I hope that this clears it up a little bit, and if you have any more questions, you can ask them in the comments. But like I said before, my website has a free guinea pig care guide, and it's a really great resource. Not only are there articles about all these different subjects, but my videos are then embedded in between, and if there's any product or medicine or anything that is related to those videos or those products, I tried to have the links right there so that you know exactly which product I'm talking about. Now, some of these products you might be able to get at like a pharmacy or the dollar store. When it comes to antifungal cream, you can find those, generally speaking, in your neighborhood. But I wanted to put those links there, and that way you can see if there's a specific percentage of an active ingredient, or there's some kind of, there's, like I said, with the ivermectin, there's so many different types out there. There's the injectable kind, there's like a paste, there is there's a liquid that can be ingested, but we use the injectable kind as a drop on the ear and it goes right into the bloodstream, or we recommend the ivermectin paste. So check out my website for more information about that, and I hope this clears it up for you. And let's continue the conversation in the comments. Have you dealt with ringworm? And if so, how did you cure it? And the same thing with mange. Have you had any piggies that had mange? And what were their symptoms? How bad did it get? And how long did it take them to turn around? I'd really love to hear what you have to say. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. So I just got a message from someone who has been asking me about ringworm and mange, and when I followed up with them, they just responded by saying that their mom made them give them away because she was scared. Okay, now, first of all, it breaks my heart, because if you give your guinea pig away just because they have ringworm or mange, and you're giving them to somebody also, now that's their problem. Who are you giving them away to? And if you don't know what the problem is or how to solve it, how are they supposed to know what the problem is or how to solve it? And you're just prolonging the suffering of these animals, and that's like what we're charged for. Their whole purpose is not to entertain us and to make us feel good. It's our responsibility to take care of them. Now, as I've said before, luckily, easily, ringworm and mange are easily treated, and it's nothing to be worried about. Ringworm you can treat with antifungal shampoo and antifungal cream, and it's so common. It's just like athlete's foot or something like that. You wouldn't give your child away because they got athlete's foot. You wouldn't cut your foot off just because you got a rash on it. You would treat the problem and you'd move on with life. Okay, so it breaks my heart. It's getting me super upset. Now let's talk about mange. Also, there is a number of ivermectin products. I list 2 on my website, and you can cure mange in a matter of days, and your piggy can go from being in a horrible shape to a full recovery in less than a month. And it's, if you have compassion, if you care for these animals, you would do what was right and you would help them. And just something to say, if you do get piggies from a pet store or something and they have mange or ringworm, don't just return them. Don't just take them back to the pet store where they'll say, oh, we'll get them treated. Sometimes they'll take your guinea pigs and then you can pick them up later. That is the worst thing to do. Treat it yourself. It's so easy. Sometimes people will have guinea pigs in the back of the pet store where the vet area is for weeks or months just treating ringworm, and it's something that can be cured in a matter of days, and they don't get to see their animal, and their animals are in horrible conditions. I know, because people have sent me photos. So I'm just going to end this video here, but none of these conditions are something to really worry about. It's time for you to take action and just cure them. They're so easy to cure. Check the illness page of my free guinea pig care guide, and you'll be on the path to curing these and a number of other illnesses, identifying them early and giving your piggies the proper care that they deserve. That's it.